My bad. I'll check.
Actually, you can just ask Professor Navabi directly. Um, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we don't know about this sort of questions.
Yeah, I don't think you would have to write all the import statements. It would just be how to make that layout basically. Cool. Um, all right. So next questions for which layout manager could you use to place components in 4 columns or 7 rows? Does anyone know the answer to that?
Grid pane.
Yeah. So whenever we have columns and rows, you should always use grid pane for it. And then when you have a border pane, it's easier to set the like you can just do pane dot set center, set pane dot set left, and set right or set bottom, and you can put all the all the buttons and different components in the specific positions you want to. Then the event handler is basically you do the public void handle action event E. So whenever like a button is clicked or you press a keyboard, whatever you want to do, you do the public void handle and action event basically. So if you have a button named button1 and a listener named button1 listener, how do you associate the listener with button1? So to do that, what you do is button1 dot set on action, and then you initialize a new listener called new button1 listener. And then in the listener class, you can specify that when this button is clicked, I want something like I want this to open up, basically. And then for next one, the graphic coordinates 0, 0 specify lower left corner in Cartesian coordinates, specify what corner in Java graphics. Does anyone know that?
Top left.
Yeah, so it's just basically how you look at the normal plane. It's 0, 0 on the top left. Then when drawing a rectangle, R1 equals new rectangle, A, B, C, D. A and B specify what property of rectangle to be drawn. Does anyone know that?
Left,
Huh?
top left of the rectangle.
Yeah. So A and B specify the coordinate of top corner, and then sorry, A specifies the x coordinate and B specifies the y coordinate, and then C and D they specify the width and height of the rectangle. So this will
And
tell you where the position is of the rectangle, and then this will tell you the size of the C and D will tell you the size of the rectangle.
so, quick question: is A and B the center, or is it one of the corners?
A and B specify the top left corner of the rectangle.
Top left. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
okay, thank you.
yeah. So how do you draw a line, a circle, a text, and etc. using class shape? So you just do line equals new line, and then you specify the starting index for x. Let me quickly write it. So this is how you do it for for a line. When you want to initialize a line, you do line equals new line, and then you specify the starting index for x, starting index for y, ending index for x, and index for y. And then you do the same thing for circle, but for circle you have only three parameters, which are the center, like center coordinates for x and y, and then the radius. And then for text, you have the starting x and y, and then just the string to display in the parameters. Brendan, can you explain your question a little more?
So like say if with like start and x and end x, say if it's like start x is 30 and end x is 40, like if you create a line with start x as 40 and end x as 30, would it just still be the same line?
Yeah, I would go backwards.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So the others are just inheritance and interfaces and stuff. Is there anything else we need to go over? Leo?
Does anybody have any questions regarding regarding the quizzes or the content that will be covered in the exam, or any like general questions? I think we will release the practice question key in this weekend, because we want you to do it by yourself. Then we can release the key and you can double check where you don't understand or something like that. Do you guys want me to quick? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you guys gonna post it in the announcements?
You mean the practice answers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will do it on weekend.
Okay,
I
thank
believe.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So is it finished? Wrapping up?
Sorry.
Are we wrapping up?
Yeah. Do you guys want me to quickly go over the GUI stuff, or just stay here and chill and answer any questions you may have?
Is the GUI stuff going to be on the test, or?
Yeah, of course.
Then I think a refresher would help. I don't know. Granted, that's what I think. I don't know how everyone else here would think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I will go over the GUI stuff. So you can go to the review, like Exam2 study guide, to check what will be on the exam.
Okay.
So let me share my screen. Start. Okay. So sorry for the handwriting. So my handwriting is not that good. So okay, let's start. So the GUI have node, stage, and scene. Those three main components. And then we have a parent to control. Parent which contains pen and control. So okay, sorry, move on. So For the layout management, which is also called pens, we have the pen, which is the basic class. And how we declare it, just like how we declare an object. Then we have a VBox. It's like a column here. And we have some common methods used to work with VBox. For HBox, it's a horizontal box. For the grid pen, it's just like a grid pen. We can put the element into rows and columns, and it's flexible. We can use many methods to control the gaps or control the row and the columns. And we also set the padding. We can add components as well, and it's pretty useful pen. Next, we have flow pen. So the flow pen will organize nodes from left to the right. And sometimes it can create a new row. So it just fill the space from left to right, and then start a new line from left to right. That's how the flow pen. Then we have a tiler pen. So a tiler pen, place all nodes in a grid which each cells or tile is the same size. Actually, I'm not quite remember how this works. You can check the slides. Yeah, it's all those pens just work as same as a basic pen. You just how you declare it is just like declare an object. Then you can if you want to add the pen, you must use get children the like add all. But here it's set all. Then we have a border pen. For the border pen, we just have like you can imagine we have 5 places: a top, left, center, right, and bottom. And the method is just set top, set left, and so on. Then we have a control components, which is a button, label, text field, text area, tab pen. So for the label, text field, and text area, those 3, we can set the text or get the text. So yeah. And we have a tab pen. So a tab pen, I think we did an assignment about the tab pen. So a tab pen will appear at the top, and if we click this tab, it will move to that page. Then we have a scroll pen. I think we don't cover this in CS25. Then we have a combo box. We have a checkbox. So you want to know how to use those boxes. You want to know how does this box works, like how a combo box or a checkbox works. So for example, a checkbox, you can just check or uncheck many boxes at the same time. And if the box is selected, then you can do something about it. It's called event handling. You can put this in an event handling class, okay? So move on, we have shapes class. So it's a part of the node. So the shape class, we have a rectangular. So you can see this drawing here. The first 2, X and Y, is for the top left corner. And then we have width and length. That is a signature for declaring a rectangular. Then we have an ellipse. Is same thing, is center XY and a radius XY. We have a circle. We have an arc. All of those are for drawing, like the shapes. So for arc, we have center XY. We have radius XY, and we have other stuff, start angle and the length. you can review. Right now I'm just quick going over all those components in GUI. If you want to know the specific information, you can just go to the slides, and you can just get more detailed information. So for the egg, we have a set file, set stroke, set type. You might want to know what are these round, chalk, or open, those type means for an arc. And we have a line. The first two signatures are start X, start Y. The last two are end X and end Y. And we can set this X and Y's using those methods. Okay, so then we have exceptions. Exceptions, we have arithmetic exception, which is also called divide by zero error. So if in your code you are dividing something by zero, you will get this exception. And we have a number format exception. Whenever we're trying to parse an integer, parse a string into an integer, you might encounter this error because you cannot convert letter A to an integer, right? So it will prompt up this error exception, number format exception. Then we have index out of bound exception. Whenever we're accessing an array, like it's not necessarily an array. Whenever we're accessing something has a bound. For example, if we have a string like A, B, C, D, if we're trying to access like a character at like 5, it will have this index out of bound exception. If it's an array like 1, 2, we want to access the ninth element, it will also return this exception. Also, we have non-point exception. The non-point exception is whenever you're accessing something is non. For example, if we have an array, or if we have a linked list, let's say this is node 1, this is node 2, and the next it points to none. Whenever you are trying to get to the next, and it will return none, and it will cause a non-pointer exception because it points to a none. Then we have checked exceptions, which is IO exception. So the IO exception, including all the input and output exception. So you have some file not found exception or not sanitizable exception. So whenever you're trying to sanitize an object, then we have writing some text file. It's about object sanitizing. You might review that part of topic as well. Yeah, I think that's, and yeah, object synchronization and persistence. What is the concept for the persistence? So the persistence is the object can exist separate from an executing program that creates it. So I would say you just need to know all these concepts. What does this mean? Like polymorphism and composition, persistence, sanitization, something like that. And it's about object reading and writing. Yeah, I think that's all the topics I can go over right now. And does anybody have any questions? If no, we will stop right here. And I hope everyone have a great weekend and good luck on your exam.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.